going on? Are we doing magic?
Yes.
Jennifer Lacey, what is going on, my sister?
I'm good, Jesse. How are you?
Well, I am less than 100%.
Okay.
I got hit with the chills yesterday, and then I got the body aches. I totally flaked and left the emotional bungee jumpers hanging. No pun intended. You get it? Bungee jumpers hanging. And then now I'm dealing with, we'll just say, liquefied stuff. We'll just say that. I don't want to ruin anybody's coffee, but we're here, girl. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a week and wrapping up some stuff and all the Christmas stuff, which I know you're so excited about. Yes, and so it's been good, and it's starting to wind down and getting ready for next week, which is I got 2 teenage girls, so it's trying to navigate that in itself. So yes, everything's good.
I love it. Well, it's the end of the year, or rather I'll say that's not true yet, but this is the last No BS live stream for 2025.
Yes.
And so we were talking about what about next year? And I think actually I got to give a shout out to Mr. Jim.
Yes, Jim Gontorius, for sure.
Right. Because he made the post about like his word for the year, or what's your word for the year? And then you and I were talking about it, and it's like, oh, well, what if we have this conversation with the tribe, since it's been an amazing, I'll say this. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I like content, podcasts, and stuff that I listen to. I've been hearing a lot of there's a high volume of people talking about how 2025 was difficult.
I would agree
for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh man, that's another thing to be grateful for me, because it's been amazing for me.
It was a very good year for me this year.
Yeah. And so, folks, if you had a rough year, heart goes out to you. And what we want to do today is set the vibe for 2026. Let's put some stuff in place, get some thoughts, get some clarity about how we want 2026 to be more gooder, because I know me personally, when I think about it, when I write about it and start talking about it, the likelihood of it actually happening is dramatically greater.
Yes.
And there's no time, the best time to do it is early and often. And so that's why we're starting here. But before we get into it.
Before we do what you're about to do next, Jesse, I have to give us a shout out, you and me. Because 4 years ago, literally the next live show we do will be the one that we kicked off 4 years ago with No BS with Jen and Jess. So December 4 years ago, you and I were sitting and just kind of throwing some things back and forth after our Lean in Love live streams. And we came up with No BS with Jen and Jess. We launched it, we did it all in one day. And we, for 4 years, have been doing this and still like each other and still like to hang out every once in a while. And so I'm excited that we're here doing these things.
Yeah, 4 freaking years. That's pretty damn amazing. Well, look at we got Miss Elizabeth. How are you, sister? She says, good morning. So 2025 was one of her best years in a long time. Many lessons learned. Picasso construction. Glad you're here. Oh man. All right, Jen. So the comments are starting.
Okay. Yeah. Well, really quick. So yes, let's do housekeeping.
Let's do the housekeeping. Come on.
Okay. So good morning, everybody. Please let us know where you're listening from. Number one, we'd love to hear from you, so we know who's out there, because we don't know unless you're typing something in the comments. But we do want to recognize that some of you probably maybe pop in, don't know who we are, never heard of us before. Some of you probably listen while you're doing something else. You're not really contributing to the conversation. And then we have other people that are engaging. So our ask is, it's a small one, is that if you're out there, if you can just put a blue heart in the comments, if you've never done it before, just so we know you're there. That's it. That's all we want to know, is we just want to know you're there, because one, we can call you out and we can recognize you. And number two is our tribe can see who you are so that they can connect with you and connect and engage with your content. because we are all better when we're all helping and supporting each other. And so again, if you're new, if you're not, engaged with us before, or even if you haven't been here for a while, put a blue heart in the comments so that we can love on you a little bit.
I like it. And so
what
Jennifer,
else does it do, Jesse? What else does that do?
So like what happens is when you make that comment, drop an emoji, any and all of the above, is that gets you in the randomizer. And so at the top of the hour, we'll do the randomizer, which is like a cool little digital raffle that'll get you your name. If your name gets selected, you'll get free access to 1 month of Emotional Bungee Jumpers and Cultivation Crew. And I'm going to fix the thing so that if I flake again, like I did yesterday, that it doesn't have to be totally rescheduled. So, and all the jumpers out there, one, thank you for like checking on me because I disappeared for 6 hours. I'm okay. And I'm fixing it. I'm going to fix it so that we don't leave you hanging again in the future. Anyways, by commenting, oh, look, we got a blue heart. And I know,
Miss morning, Leah. How are you?
Excuse me. Blue heart coming in from Facebook land. Give her some support. But if you drop, that's all it takes. Drop that.
Yes, one blue heart
in the randomizer, and hopefully we'll see if she wins today. So, man, look, we got the people are awake now. Okay, so Mike Chili Chow says lean bliss in 2026. No, it sounds better if you say lean bliss in 26. All right, okay, so there it is. How about this troublemaker? You know her?
Good morning, Demetria. I've been going back and forth. We've been talking a little more. We've got some stuff cooking. So good morning, Demetria. Thank you for joining us. I know she's had a very big year, and going into next year, I'm sure she's got some big plans. So this should be a good conversation. I cannot wait to hear what she has.
Same. And then Mr. Jim,
who started all this mess.
Yeah. This one's your fault, Jim. The covert lurker, because he claims he identifies as a lurker, but he's not really a lurker. He contributes a shitload of value to these conversations. And then, of course, Mr. Mike says he's coming in from Kansas City, Missouri. All right, my folks. So this 2026 idea, going back to like Jim, he made a post about the word for the year. And so what do you say we start there, Jen? Or should I pop the question and then we go into our answer? Yes. So here's a question for everybody out there in the Omniverse. Are you setting intentions for next year, or are you going to let it unfold? And like, for real, no judgment. Y'all know I ain't going to judge because it depends on what time of the day it is. I might switch mind melds and do something entirely different. You never know, but let's kind of get it out there, right? See what help our people understand that, like, hey, we're all kind of thinking about this in maybe a different way, but we are absolutely thinking about it. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a question out there that's going to pull some stuff out of you. It might scare you to put it out and type it in the internet, but I know from personal experience, when I share it with people, it's more likely to come to life.
Yes.
Right? So
especially share with us, please.
Yes. So, Jen, where are you on this idea of setting intentions or letting it unfold? Do you have a word? What's the deal?
All the things. I know they'll all come out based on just where I'm at right now. But this question, in my mind, is not like a black and white question. It's not like I'm here or here, because I really want to, like, in my mind, I kind of have a goal. I have a direction. I know where I want to be, that kind of stuff. Like, I'm pretty good at, like, I'm not just let me just show up and see what happens. I'm beyond that. I've kind of been there before, but I'm beyond that. But I also don't like to come in and go, here's the plan, and we can't deviate from the plan. So to me, it's a mix of, I know what my goals are going into next year. I know what my big initiatives and things like that. I also know I have some ideas of like how that could happen. But early in January and February, I have multiple meetings and kind of collaboration sessions set up already for things I already have in my head with groups of people some individual, some multiple, on here's the goal. How can we do it? And I'm doing it with a group of people that I've been working with that are very much have been a part of the processes that I support, because I want to hear like what do they think, because I'm so ingrained in it. Sometimes I can only see certain things. And so that's kind of where I don't feel I'm one or the other, because I do want to let it unfold and see what could happen. But I put a little bit of structure around that. Does that answer?
I love that, because that's exactly how I roll, because it leaves space, it leaves flexibility to allow amazing things in. And so, oh, man, we already got people answering.
Come on.
Miss Maria Martin says, the vibe for 26 is to only do those things that bring joy, like the famous book lady. And yes, my 45 pairs of sweatpants bring joy. Girl, I'm with you, man. Running clothes is the ultimate. Mr. Rex Miller, what is up, Rex?
We're going to do some fun things with him. That's the plan for DFW and DFW coming in 2026. So hadn't had him involved in a while, and he was super involved in Congress. And so we're going to reach out and get engaged. And he's doing some stuff with some of our teams. And I just, again, super excited that you're here this morning, Rex.
Yes. And I'll add, like, Rex has helped tons and tons of people get clear and chart their path. So if you're looking for that kind of help, and you know, Rex is the guy, hit him up. And what he's saying, he's doing a start, stop, continue exercise. And I love this part. His work, relationships, spiritual growth, learning, and health, and etc. And so like each of those buckets, which, you know, the way I think in buckets, it totally works. And if you have any questions about the start, stop, continue thing, hit him up, follow him, like, you know, all the things, because Rex is a solid dude. Now, for me, Jennifer Lacey.
Yes, what is the answer for, are you setting intentions or letting it unfold?
Yeah, so here's how I think about it. And kind of going back to Jim's, the guy that started this whole mess. A few years ago, I shifted from like, I do my goal, I'll say it this way. I do all my goal setting on my birthday or the week of my birthday, because the world revolves around me. And then around that time, I also select a word for the year that's kind of the guiding principle, or in terms of this question, is like setting the intention for the year. How I got to that, I don't even remember. But I do know once I got to it, it kind of opened up possibilities. And so, like you said, my intention, my one word for next year is filter. And so what that means is by the end of the year, by my birthday, I am going to be making decisions to filter stuff out or right size some things, make them smaller, because I'm involved in a bunch of things. I got a lot of things going on. And by the end of the year, I'm going to be filtering. And so what that does is it informs, like, what are the real actions, the tactical things I'm going to do throughout the year to really, really vet or verify some of the services and products that I offer, and give them the appropriate amount of attention, so that I can then say, okay, I did everything I know how to do, everything I was prepared and willing to do. Now it's time to, like, maybe combine some things, rename some things, who knows. What it also means is I'm not planning on starting new stuff, which is difficult. What? Well, that was the intention for this year, was stabilize. Don't start new shit, right? Like nothing. And actually I was successful. I didn't start anything that wasn't already on my board. And so let's just continue that. It's been good because it helps me deliver a deeper level of value to the people I care about and serve the way I want. Now, that's setting the intention, which kind of looks like I'm letting things unfold. But I have some guardrails, right? Like there's specific things. One, I want to remove 100,000 hours of life-stealing work by my birthday, right? So what does that mean? That means there's a lot of things that I got to be specifically focused on to make that happen. I got a couple of other ones. And so we'll say the goals, the intention is more important than the goal. Rather, the intention sets the direction for the goal. The goals are big enough to push me but also not so precise, like you said, that I cannot deviate from the plan. I must, like, it leaves, and more importantly, it leaves room for innovation and for other amazing things that I could not have expected. Because back in the day, I used to plan to the nth degree, and these are the goals, and I mean, you remember the house, right? Like that's I would say this is the sequence that things need to happen, and I do not change my mind.
Yep.
Even if it, like, I can't see that it doesn't make sense or there's an easier path because this was the plan. I can't change the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is why I need that kind of the setting of the intention to allow space for awesome things to unfold, but also not deviate or create 3,000 different little paths that I always got to come back from to get back on track. What do you think, Jen?
It took us a bit to get where, but I mean, the way we're answering this, we're not like it's not a cop out. We're not trying to go, we don't want to answer it. I feel like both of us, it's been a journey where we used to, this is what has to happen. We're just going to jump and see what happens. Like we've been in these different places, and it's been a journey for us to be doing it the way we're doing it right now. Like the way that we're trying to go into, we are going into next year. It has been us navigating through some other things and realize I got to get sharper here. I got to let go here. Like it's been a journey.
100%. Right. I mean, when I think about, well, I'm going to say like the fundamental skills to get to this point. First, we got to recognize Abbas. What's up, Abbas? Good morning.
Good morning.
I had to kind of build the skill of planning, like future planning, thinking out further ahead than next week. Then I had to build the skill of like prioritizing and developing the plan. Then I had to build the skill of sticking to it, right?
Not jumping at every little flashy thing.
Correct. Right. Like stop chasing freaking squirrels, just stay the course. And then what has, I think the differentiating skill that has helped me get to where I'm at now in terms of my thinking is the skill of reflection. Mm-hmm. Right, because what I used to do was set my plan and my what do you call them, New Year's resolutions and like all of those things, and they would this may sound familiar to some of you corporate folks out there that have that annual strategy retreat, and you put all kinds of cool shit on the wall, and then you go back and do work like you always did, and then you have another retreat, and you put more stuff on the wall, and that's like that happens a lot. That was how I was running my personal life because I didn't have the reflection element built in. And so now,
the accountability element.
Well, what do you mean by accountability element?
I feel like it's another one. You put that on the walls. You have great ideas and great plans in a room with people that for this year, and then you leave there. And like you said, you go back to work and there's no check-ins. There's no accountability measure to it.
Got it.
And so the reflection to me feeds into, I said I'm going to do this. What steps am I doing to be able to say, yes, I'm doing it? So.
Amen. Yeah. Like, what are the steps to, okay, it's what I'm going to do. What are we going to do to do that? Okay, cool. Have I done the shit? If not, why not? Yes. Adjust and do that happens periodically throughout the year. And then at the end of the year is, I'm always kind of that time horizon that I'm reflecting upon expands, right? 1 month, a quarter, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, the whole year, which then helps me get to the point. It's like, okay, the one big thing I need to do is filter next year. And what does that mean? This is kind of what it means. And that's based on the reflection practice. And so I'm wondering, folks, everybody out there in the Omniverse, like thinking about it in those terms, does that help, right? Like how, like, start planning, get the things out of your head and start prioritize, start doing the thing, have some accountability or some measurable action items that you can check in on. And then the reflection piece. There's a lot. Like, I don't think, actually, I'm pretty damn sure if somebody would have told me like, this is how you do it, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So just start with one, right? And if you're already doing the one, then do the second one and do the third. So anyways, that's how I think about it. And folks, all you guys out there are ballers. Y'all are very accomplished people that are having major impact on the industry, your organization, and your communities. So if you have, my gut tells me you do have a way of doing it, leave it in the comments. Because I promise you, there's going to be a bunch of people that say, Jesse, you're full of crap that's too complicated or that's too small. Your way may help somebody. So if you ain't scared, throw it in the comments. Mr. Mike says a tribe or pack is essential. Community, baby. You cannot go it alone. The wolf attacks the sheep that wanders from the pack. We have big ideas for the old dog pack next year. My word would be intentional, need to be intentional, and do the damn thing. Oh,
yes.
I love. So what do you think, Jen, that idea of your pack, your tribe, your community, how important is it?
Essential is a good word. And it's one of those that at no point are we not saying you are not capable of going alone. You are not capable of checking off the boxes and doing the things that you can do. And again, because of the people that are in this tribe and in our community, they have done some amazing things. And,
yes.
And some of it, they've done it just because they were just determined they were going to get it done, and they did it. And I've seen it. I've watched it. Yep. But what you and I have discovered is individually, Jesse, you and I, we're awesome. We can do some really cool things. Yep. But as soon as we start looking at it from a community and from that we're in this together, and that I can lean on you and you can lean on me, and hey, I can ask you a question that then makes you think differently. And all of a sudden, this community aspect, I'm going to own it. It has elevated everything I touch. It has elevated in my company, outside my company, my personal life, my professional life, just the people that I engage with and the people that I get to like hang out and call my friends. It has elevated all the things that Rex put in my stop, start, continue, my lifestyle, all the things that I choose to that make me who I am.
Yeah.
The community and the element of like doing it with other people, it was a game changer.
Yes. Yes. Amen. And so folks, if you kind of came in late and you're still lurking, give yourself an early Christmas gift by dropping a blue heart in the comments, or type out blue heart, so that we can engulf you into the community. Yes. Right? Now, another thing that's really important is maybe we don't roll the way you like, right? Yeah. Like if we happen upon your feed and you're like, who are these freaking weirdos? They got too much energy. They're aggravating. Good. Find people that you jive with, yes. Right? Like find your people, find your flavor, and like, but on purpose, yes. Right? Like do it on purpose. Find the people that resonate with you, that maybe are living the life that you aspire to live, or demonstrating the values that you believe in, that you want to build and develop. Find them, and then on purpose, connect with them regularly, right? Like the big, how do you start building a community? Well, one, you got to let people know you're out there. Two, you got to let them know you want to build a community, you want to be a part of the community. The third thing is you just got to connect every so often. Like
and I want to add, you can't just sit around and wait and go, they'll find me.
Right. You got to let them know you're there. Wave the flag, like raise hell, email, call, text, like anything.
Call people out. Ask them why they didn't pick up your business card. Just you have to be intentional.
Yes. And so that leads, I think that's a good segue into our next question.
Okay.
And so folks, if you haven't heard the story, the way when Jennifer and I collided, which was what, 6 years ago now?
Yes.
Right. We were both on the planning committee for Congress in Fort Worth. And she handed out her business cards to everybody. And then we went to walk the building, and I just left the card on the table, right? Because I figured we're coming back. Well, I was the only person that left her card just thrown there on the table. I knew Jen from like social media, but I didn't know her like personally yet. She comes up and she grabs the card and puts it right in my face and says, I see how it is. This is how you're going to treat me, and throws it on the table and walks away. And I'm like, she's awesome. I like that. And so I'm sure that was at some point in your life, Jen, that would not have
no. Are you kidding? One, we didn't even we weren't I mean, we were acquaintances. We weren't even friends. And two, that drew attention. And like, you didn't know me from Adam. You could have been like, F you. Like, I mean, it could have been anything. And at that point, I didn't even know if I needed to know who you were or we needed to be connected. But in that point, I made an intention to because I'm building my community and I want to have people in my space. And the way it looked is you were discounting that.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure you knew it was important.
Right. Yeah. And you did. Loud and clear, girl. So here's the question for the tribe. What are you afraid to admit you want in 2026?
Come on. Bring it on.
Baby. What are you afraid to admit that you want in 2026? And actually, we're going to have the after party, and I would love to dive deeper into these answers if anybody's courageous enough to drop their answer. But this question came from you, Jen. So explain where this question came from, and then let's answer that, because it's a freaking fabulous question.
And I love that we do these questions like not almost halfway through the show, because these are the ones that I'm not sure I would have these real conversations with everyone, but they already have to be listening for 26 minutes before they're going to get this information from me. So I'm like, oh, it's a little safer if we don't just kick off the show with things like this, if we kind of bury it a little bit. So, so one is that I love the question, because we always talk about resolutions and words and here's my goals and here's my strategic plan. We talk about all the things, and rarely do we incorporate like, here's the things that I don't want to tell anybody, but they're important to me. Mm-hmm. Here's the things that if I say it out loud, someone may know something that I don't know, or somebody may see something that is a gap or is a growth opportunity. Those are the things that we don't share out loud very often, because in historically we're lacking. We're not good enough. I'm too much. Like all the things that we're really good at, at self-talk when it comes to those kind of things. And so we don't like to go, ooh, but I would really like this, because then it becomes something that you may need some help with, or you may need other people to be a part of it. And when you say your word, when you say your resolution, who's accountable to that?
Yeah,
you are, Jesse. You are the only one that's accountable to that. Like, no one can make me do it or not do it. No one can make me follow through or not follow through. But when I go, well, this is so scary, because when I say for 2026, what I would love is some direction that no one can give me up until now. And so when I say I need direction, again, I'm doing a lot of big things. And I've got plans, and I know what my 2026 is going to look like right now. But when I'm talking to people, sometimes they don't see what I see. They don't know what I know. They don't even know what I'm conceiving that it could be. And so it's hard for someone to go, Jennifer, here's how you get there, or here's something that could get you closer. I don't have a lot of those conversations, which, it's not a bad life. Again, please understand. But like, when I say that out loud, someone goes, oh, so you don't have it figured out, or, oh, you're out here doing these things and you don't even know what you're trying to accomplish. Like, a lot of those conversations come up. And so I've had to be very intentional on the people, one, that I surround myself with.
Yes.
And because you get to hang out with people that I work with, that I'm supported in a way of, I'll get out of your way for the things that you already have figured out. And I'm here if you need me to kind of bounce ideas off of. Like, that's the environment I'm in, which is a great idea. But it's still scary when I say, I'd love to have someone give me a little bit of direction. So,
yeah. No, two things. I love the statement you made, right? Is I want direction because you have a lot of responsibility,
I
right?
do.
Like you got a lot of responsibility for your organization, and there's so much vulnerability in that, right? Because I know there are a bunch of damn fools out there, professionals that are like, what do you mean you don't know? It's like, for real, none of us know, bro. Like, for real. You know what the intended outcome is and how to like make that happen, like make sure every step you take is 100% dead on. We don't know that. Nobody knows that. And so the way you're at, like, for me, that's massive vulnerability. Like, hey, this is what I want, and I need direction to get there. Like, well, why would you set the target if you don't? Like, well, I could set boring targets that are already paths already carved, but that ain't who we are.
Mhm.
So I super applaud that. And then we got Mike Chili Chow's. He says, I'm afraid to admit I want everything to slow down.
Everyone to slow down. So that's people around him.
Everyone. Yep. And he's got massive influence, massive responsibility. Thinking of selfish planning. What do we like to do but need to give up to go forward on our goals? So there's a question, folks. Like, and I'm going to plug it. The self-first time mastery framework, that's exactly what it's designed about.
Yep.
What are those things that you've been hiding, that you've been like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's not appropriate, no, da, 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 da. Like, you got to make yourself a priority. You got to serve yourself so you can serve everybody better. How do I know? Because that's the life I'm living. I would not be able to serve in the manner that I do if I don't take care of me first. Now, for me,
what about you? Because I know. I mean, we talk a lot, but what are you afraid to admit you want in 2026?
Well, it's interesting because we came up with this. You gave me this question this morning, and was it yesterday? It was either Thursday. Maybe it was Thursday. I was thinking about my goals for 2026. Right? We already know that my word is filter, and then it's like, okay, I need to set some targets that are freaking massive, that are going to force me to adapt and change dramatically so that I can achieve them. That is in alignment with this filter idea. And I could have set, the standard shit of increase revenue by 25% and, expand my clientele, add to blah, blah, which are like, don't get me wrong. I know how difficult those things are to achieve. But you know this, Jen, like, I need to have impact and fulfillment, and they're tied together. So I'm like, okay, let me reframe this. And as I was thinking about it, I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to say, like, man, if I say that out loud,
I know,
right? Like, I say it out loud, and you know what that means. And then I'm like, okay, perfect. Then this is what I need to do. And so, and then from there, I say, you know what? My Monday morning hug that's going to come out on Monday is going to be on these three things.
Okay.
One, because I already know when I share my goals, my aspirations with people will contribute to that in terms of energy or referral. Like, they help make it happen. And the haters say it's impossible, it's stupid. I'm like, oh, okay, why? I'm like, oh, that's a good point. That is something that's going to keep me from doing that. So anyways, it's three things. I'm afraid to admit that I want in 2026. I already said one of them. I want to remove 100,000 labor hours of life-stealing work. That's a lot. And I know I can't do it on my own, and this is why I need to announce it. Of course, that's tied to sweat equity improvement and all those magical things, which, by the way, we're going to be doing a micro SQI intensive with Mike here in the first part of New Year, which I'm excited about. So one thing is that remove 100,000 labor hours of life-stealing work. The second thing that I'm like afraid to admit out loud is that I want to like throw a lifesaver, a life preserver, a floaties to all the foremen out there that have been thrown into the deep end, promoted into the role, and they say, go do good, but they haven't been equipped with the tools to be successful in the role. So I want to hit at least 500 foremen out there and give them the tools so that they're not drowning anymore. And then the third thing is I want to help 500 construction leaders build the skills, use the frameworks to finally put themselves first. Those are the three things. And like, that's a lot, right?
That is a lot.
In some case, you're thinking like 100, like that's not a big number, but it is a big number. Why? Because based on my previous performance, it's dramatically bigger. Some of them are 5X. The 100,000 is just massive. Like, fuck, this just said something challenging. And so, you know, the risk of saying that out loud is people are going to ask, hey, so remember that thing you said? Where are you at? What happened? Right? Like, oof. The risk of saying it out loud is the reality of like the work it's going to take. Because I know it's going to take a ton of work. Now, I'm fortunate in that the community that we have, I know is going to contribute or is already contributing to those things. So I have a leg up there. But for folks out there, for you in the Omniverse, I mean, so far we've only got Mike that said he wants everyone to slow down. So folks, hopefully you're thinking of the thing. I'd love for you to put in the comments, but I understand why you're not. What are you afraid to admit you want in 2026? Give yourself permission to want more. Give yourself permission to want bigger, because I know if you're still here listening to us, you're not a taker.
No.
You're about contributing and leaving this industry, this world better than you found it. And the things that you want, they're in your heart for a reason. I believe the reason is because you have the skills and talents within you to produce that thing in service to others. But you got to get it out of your head. What do you think, Jen?
You said a couple of things. One is the importance of getting it out. And I want to add that no judgment here, because there have been things that Jesse and I have talked about. And I'm like, ooh, I want to do this. I want to do this. And Jesse's like, guy, I'm going to feed into, I'm going to support it. I'm going to do the things. And then it shifted for me. And Jesse didn't go, well, you know what? Screw you. Like, I'm trying to help you with that. And you don't want to do it anymore. Like, I'm not going to be like, that's not what we do. And like, again, if Jesse goes to Jesse's head, I know it comes to my head. Like there was a point where I'm like, I need to create a website. And Jesse had a website, and we were talking a lot of our conversations was about what would my website look like. And then there was a point where I just had to go, Jesse, that's not important to me right now. Like, that used to be important. It's not anymore. It's on my list, but I'm not going to put a lot of energy into it. And like, you know, don't be scared. People are going to go, peace out. See you later.
Right.
Like we have to say it, because then it makes it a conversation. But we're able to go, like, we're accountable to ourselves. And that's the people we have around us, is that Jesse will help me be accountable to myself. My tribe will help me be accountable to myself. It doesn't impact Jesse if I have a website or not. So right. He's only trying to feed into, and I feel like that's, Jesse, sometimes we get scared of saying something out loud, which I have a big goal this year for another personal goal that is, I've said it to a couple people and they're going, what? Like, you can't do that. And I'm like, I know. And like, it's one of those that there's a good chance I won't meet it. And I'm okay. But I've said it to people that they're like, that's crazy. And so then it becomes, hey, how are you doing on that? What's going on with that? And then, but I want to make sure we say that, because people get scared to say something out loud, because then I'm going to fail if I don't do something I said I'm going to do.
Oh, I got to pick at that some more to like get some clarity to help people. Like,
yes,
I got first. Mike says, okay, Mike, you're a goal achieved. He says, to make Jesse admit Kansas City burnt ends are the best barbecue. Kansas City burnt ends, like, if you've ever had burnt ends, because now it's kind of a popular thing in freaking fast food restaurants.
Charleston's got some good ones though, but okay, we'll go with it.
But Kansas City, for real, they got the best. The best burnt ends and beef ribs. So there, mission accomplished, Mike. Now, back to what you were saying, Jen, like I think I've probably made it pretty clear to people that if you're a whiner and you need sympathy, I'm not the guy to come talk to, right? I don't have any. I ran out of sympathy a long freaking time ago, and the new batch is on back order. It ain't coming. Now, I also am pretty vigilant about freaking have a direction. What do you want? And so some people might take that to mean I have to pick one thing for always and forever. It's like, no, you just need to be clear about what you want until it becomes clear that that's not the correct path.
Yes. Yes.
Right. And so what you described, Jen, like it would, it was the website. That's a great example, right? Like, oh, this, and then you finally got clear. You're like, you know what? That's just not in the right order. This is what I want. I got clear by doing that exploration. You got clearer about what you actually wanted.
Yes.
And so when that happened, it's like, hell yeah. Well, then let's go in that direction because we're clear about what the hell we want. And maybe another way to think about it, we get clear about what we don't want. Now, what's different is some people, they want to do a website. And then the next week, well, what I really want to talk about is my, building out my TikTok presence. Okay, cool. Let's go that way. The next week, hey, well, I was thinking about blogging. I'm like, what are we doing?
That's when you see Jesse's face make that face he just made, like you need to take a breath and you need to get some clarity.
Yes. Like I'm not against it. But pick a path, man. And again, don't get me wrong in that you can't change. Like if you look at the way I operate, I'm everywhere. I do a lot of crap. But when I started doing TikTok, guess what I was doing for 6 weeks only? TikTok, right? When I started doing blogs, guess what I was doing for 6 weeks before I wrote my first blog? I was obsessively consuming content on blogging. And so my point is like you can change things, but freaking give it some real have an idea of what you want, right? And as it relates to like 2026 coming up, the first question was, are you setting intentions, right? Or you're letting it unfold? Second question, what are you afraid to admit you want in 2026? That's a freaking powerful question. Like write it down. If you're not going to put it in the chat, that's okay. But write the damn thing down. Here we go. Here's a powerful one. What do you think about this one, Jen?
Love it.
Right? Get a grip on the daily struggles. Inner peace, man. That's massive. This crazy person says.
So anyway, Babs, that's what I call her. She's amazing. Yep. She works for AGC. She's over a lot of their stuff. She wrote an article, just posted it a couple days ago. And I put the link in there. It was really cool because it feeds into this topic. As she talked about her focus last year was not every year is about building something new. So very much to your filter type thing. And it was some years are about making what you've already built actually work. That's the first line in her article. And that she spent 2025 as a year of refinement. And so she just, all the things we're talking about, again, give her some love and she's amazing. But she posted this article and I read it and I was like, oh my gosh, like goes a lot to what Mike talked about on slowing down.
Yep.
Like getting clear and all that. And so it was really, it was a good article and it fed it. And I'm like, I got to share that with everyone so that it goes into this topic really, really well.
Love it. Shout out to Miss Babs and shout out to Mr. Josh, because he is a fan of TikTok.
He's probably more of a fan on TikTok than anywhere else, probably. He likes the fishnet and the Grinch and all the Chewy stuff.
Man, Chewy's been slacking. I need to talk to that. We ain't done a video in a long time.
Grinch, we haven't even seen Grinch.
Yeah, he's we got the suit getting cleaned right now. Now, we've talked about all the good things, right? What are you afraid to admit you want next year?
Let's throw the question out one more time, just in case we have some people that are just joining.
Yep.
What are you afraid to admit you want in 2026? What's that? It's that vulnerable question of like, what have you not voiced? What are some things that are maybe a little selfish? What are some things that, that you may need some help with, all the things. So just what is something you're afraid to admit going into 2020?
Yeah. Like what are some things that aren't on the career path, right? On the organizational chart and the CDQs and all that bullshit. Like what are the things you want just for you? It's okay to want them. And I can help you get them.
Yes.
All right. Next question. Because here's a stinky truth about all of these, new goals and what do we call them? New Year's resolutions and all the things. Like the problem with wanting more or wanting new is you kind of got to release.
Yes. It's like we want what we want, but what are we willing to let go of, Jesse? Yes.
So, and I think this question's a little easier, a little lighter. So I'm expecting from you guys out there in the Omniverse an answer to this one. What are you ready to release next year? Right? Because you got to create some space, A. B, you're probably holding on to shit that is not serving you. It's dead weight, it's an anchor, and it's keeping you from becoming the promise you're intended to be. So you got to let it go. So let us know in the comments.
I'm asking you this question first, Jesse, and your answer can't be people, because that's your default. I feel like you're really good at like that, those people anchors.
Yeah.
No judgment or nobody out there. Like, don't take it personal, but Jesse's really good at like dead to me, or you're not helping me, or you're not on my path. Like, so outside of that, because I think we know that you're pretty confident in those things.
Yeah.
What are you ready to release next year?
Oh yeah. So this is a good one. And for clarity on the people thing, like I don't wait till the end of the year to do that. That I have a system and a process to filter people out, or more accurately, create space for the right people to come into my life, so that they can speak into my life. So that's not an annual thing. That's a freaking daily thing. I promise. Now, what am I ready to release next year? And this is going to be kind of mystical, but I have to release my identity of 2025, 2024, 2023. I have to let go of elements of my identity so that I can become that person that is accomplishing and serving in the way I want to do next year. Right. And so there are things, what does that like practically mean? I don't know exactly, except that I know there are things that I'm really good at and I have fun doing them. And they kind of define me, right? There's a group of people or batch of people that appreciate that part of me that I'm going to have to stop doing that. What that is yet, I haven't, like, there's a list. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to have to stop doing those things to carve out some bandwidth to create this new identity or to grow into the next level that I want to be at. Now, stopping the hard part of, like, it's easy to stop doing the thing. The hard part is all the attention that comes from doing the thing, right? The appreciation or whatever it is. Anything that we do, whether it's positive, like whether it's healthy or unhealthy, we are doing it because we get something out of it. Like otherwise we wouldn't do it. Even if it's self-destructive behavior. We do those things because it's giving us something that we need. And so I have to stop doing some things, which means I'll just keep it simple. The attention those things produce is going to go away because people are going to see me differently, because I'm going to show up differently, because there's going to, or I'm just not going to do those things anymore, which means my identity is going to shift. And I have to embrace that. The way to embrace that is to release, let go of, or loosen the grip on the identity that I've built so far, more importantly, in my own head, right? Like I've got to come to terms with that. And the only way I know to come to terms with that is just fake it till I make it, right? And because I got to just like, okay, just this is it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anyways, that's what I got to release.
I got a follow-up question.
Come on.
So you said what you were going to let go of. And so you and I have had some very vulnerable conversations around addiction. Okay. And we've shared a lot of things about addiction. And so in those conversations, you're very upfront on when you let go of something, you have to fill it with something, because that void becomes where the chaos and the mess happens.
Yep.
So again, what are you're releasing some kind of previous Jesse things, some fun, some things that maybe people associate with you. And so in your mind, what are you intentionally filling that with?
Yeah, beautiful. So I'll answer it this way. Back to the scary things that I don't want to admit, right? That I don't want to say out loud. And let's scope that down to removing 100,000 hours of life-stealing work. Mm-hmm. Part of that plan is I'm going to have to produce and release a ton of content, a ton of marketing to make that happen. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's going to take a lot of my time, right? Capturing the video, downloading it, editing it takes enormous amounts of time to do that. Breaking it into, like, another thing I'm adding this year is like short form content, mid form, which is like 3 to 15-minute pieces, and then long form, right? Which would be publishing some of the trainings that I do live and in person on my YouTube channel. I don't have time to do those freaking things right now. And I'm going to have some sources. I'm going to be hanging out with Scout's group doing the SQI workshop. I'll be hanging out with Mike up in Kansas City, and we're going to be doing like an outside in the field thing related to SQI, which are sources of content for me.
You're going to hang out with me?
Oh yeah, and then I'm going to be with you guys at Connect doing that, like. Yes. So I have these, like, those are services that I'm providing, but also they're sources of content for me to develop and use for marketing, blah, blah, blah. I don't have the time right now to process those things. And so to your point, to your question, the things that I need to stop doing, I have a freaking mountain of stuff already identified. What am I optimizing for? I am optimizing to remove 100,000 hours of life-stealing work. What does that mean? Content, marketing, email campaigns, all the junk. So once I clear those things, like that I got to release, let go of, this is going to fall back in place. And so just to kind of wrap that up, I love what you pointed out, because it's ultra important. Sure, you can identify things that you want to release and don't want to do anymore. But if you're not freaking clear about what the hell you're going to do, like you don't have something in place to replace it, you're just going to fill it with other bullshit. Mm-hmm. Bottom line. So thank you, Jen. Did I do good on my answer?
You did. You did really good. And it's something that we people don't talk about. They're talking about the things I need to stop doing, the things I need to let go of, the things that are holding me back. We talk a lot about, I got to do better, but we don't talk a lot about, if I'm letting something go, what am I filling it with?
Yeah, all the time management hacks, optimization, production goals, all that. Like if you don't know what the hell you're optimizing for, you're just being busy. You're just going to backfill it with crap. So you got to get clear about what that thing is that you're optimizing for. And ideally, this whole conversation is, all right, what the hell are we going to do? We're setting the vibe for 2026. That's what you should be optimizing for. Like for real. Whatever that vibe is, when you clear space off, when a meeting cancels, when a trip gets canceled, don't just do bullshit that's on your calendar. Invest time in that thing that you're optimizing for. Like, make it happen. All right. So we got something coming in from YouTube land. Says G4L4XY111 says, yeah, I like it. Mr. Mike, he ain't scared. He says his goal is to release phone time or tech vegging time. Phones down at home and getting intentional about working on those family goals. There it is, right? Sure, everybody wants to spend less screen time, but what are you going to do? Like for real, folks. Way back when I launched the Learnings and Missteps podcast, when I had the idea, I was like, man, I'm already super, like I had a real job and everything. was like, man, I ain't gonna have time for this. And then my phone has that little thing, right, that tells you how much screen time you spend. And I looked at it and I was like, holy moly. Like, for real, when I looked at it, I had about 15 hours a week. Now it's way more because, I do a lot of marketing and ED on it. That's my excuse. But even when I had a real job, I was spending about 15 hours a week on screen time. And I said, I got the time. Like, that was my time. I have the time to do this thing. Here's proof, because I'm spending it doing bullshit. So I love that one, Mike. Anything we can do to help support you in that, man. Except for you got to watch, you already know you got to be a part of the live stream. That doesn't count. This live stream counts as professional development and personal development. Yes. So maybe be more selective.
And therapy, right? I mean, there's a lot of things it fits. It checks the therapy box. It checks checks lots of things.
Yes, ma'am, 100%. So what about you, Jen? What do you got to release?
It kind of feeds into, one, I want to give Mike a cheat code just because phone time is, I think it's hard for everybody. And so I set a goal to be on my phone less. So I was, I have I have a tracker, but I get distracted very easily on things. And then you get down little rabbit holes and all this stuff. So Mike, I'm going to tell you what I did that has helped me on my screen time and my just mindlessly being on things I don't need to be on. Is I put timers on every app that I would find myself spending time on that is just mindless. So I hate to say it, it's TikTok, it's Facebook, it's YouTube, it's all the things that I get caught up in because of things that are important. And it doesn't mean that I can't be on them, but it absolutely reminds me, and they're very low times, they're 10, 15 minutes a day that my timer tells me, you have 2 minutes left. And then I have to manually go in and change the time if I want to go longer. And sometimes it's not worth the effort. Yep. And so it gets me off of those things. And some of the times I've adjusted and I've moved. LinkedIn has the most because I'm on it more, but that had helped me tremendously on just a little reminder that, hey, your time's about to be up and you're going to have to make a little more effort if you want to stay on. So that's a cheat code for Mike, just saying. But can you pull the question back up, Jesse? Because the answer to this actually feeds into my word going into next year. So what are you ready to release next year? So my focus going into next year is to release the noise.
Ooh.
And so in the way what that looks like for me is, number one, I say yes a lot to a lot of things because I want to be in every space that I can to impact the most people and elevate and feed into them and recognize them. That's things that are very important to me. But I still didn't have a system to help me align those yeses with my goals and the things that were super important to me. I just was saying yes to a lot of things because I'm sure I'm going to impact somebody. And so for me, releasing the noise is there's a lot of that going on. And I'm going to be clear on here's my goals. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. So when an ask comes in, when a request comes in, I can put it through this system of my filtering of what it looks like before I respond, before I go, well, maybe, and let me check my calendar. And okay. And what is, I can get you the top, all the things. And so getting clear, and I've had some help with Rachel Farr, who helps me with a lot of my speaking, is Jennifer, based on all the things we talked about, here's 3 or 4 buckets of things that I feel are very aligned with what you're trying to accomplish next year. So guess what? Now, when someone goes, Jennifer, we'd love to have you on a podcast. Jennifer, we'd love for you to come speak. The very first thing is what is your goals? What are y'all trying to focus on? What is there, what are the things that are important to you? Does that align? So for me, I get to ask questions first before I even say, yes, this is worth my time. That's scary, but it's also for me like I have to let go of some of those things. And it goes along with yours on what it feeds you. It gets you excited when people want you and they want to be a part of what you're doing and they want you to talk to their people. Like it feeds you. It makes you feel like you have purpose. And now I've got to let go of some of that's feeding me and get clear on, am I talking to the right people to be able to communicate the things that are important to me?
Yes, I love it. And that's hard. Like I know how hard it is, but I love that for you because you need some of that.
Yes.
And look at what you did. You started a fire with Mr. Halisi Tambuzi. He says, I've been scared to look at my screen time, but now I'm going to. And good. Folks, especially if you're like the lurkers or you're catching the replay, you want a reality check? Yep. Go look at the little thing on your phone. It'll tell you what your screen time is. It's probably way more than you expect it to be. And that's the answer to you don't have time to do whatever. Yeah, you do, because you've been doing it right here on your phone. It's a little scary. I'm not going to judge you. I know. But Jen, I think it's time for the random.
Yes. Let's do it. And then we can get to the last question.
All right, folks. So everybody that dropped a comment, question, emoji, your name has been thrown into the randomizer. And we are now going to hit that bad boy. Let's see who gets. What's that?
So come on. Let's go.
Okay, here, go. Man, I like the way all the faces.
I know, right? I love it.
Oh, Demetria.
Yay, good. This is perfect for her. Yes.
Oh my God. Well, she kind of knows. She's been through a version of it in the past.
Yes.
So Demetria,
Reciprocal Propulsion Weekend, where she got a lot of reps with it.
Oh yeah. So Demetria, I'll be hitting you up. You're getting a free pass for January for Emotional Bungee Jumpers and the Cultivation Crew. And folks, if you saw your name and you didn't get picked, that's okay. We're gonna do it again next month. It'll be you get another shot. All right, let me go back to the screen. I don't like this screen layout, but my thing is acting weird. Oh, here it is. Doo-doo-doo. Where is it? There it is. Boom, bam. Okay, I like that one more gooder. All right, folks. So I think this has been an awesome conversation, Jen.
I agree.
Is there room for us to talk about this?
Yes, we have to. Yes, okay. We have to ask the last question.
The last question. So, folks, I'm going to be dropping the link to the after party. But let's go to the last quote. If you could take this, Jen, while I put the link in all the places.
Yes, and then I'm gonna have to throw it back at you when I get to the point. But I'm gonna lead up to it, and then by that time you should have all the links in there. Yes,
I like it.
That's not the
wrong question. My bad. Come on, Jesse. Boom.
Okay. So what is one word for 2026 that you're going to focus on? And we've heard some in the chat, so thank y'all so much for sharing. But I have to do a little background before I give my word for next year. Is my previous two words. So I'm going to tell you what 2024's word was and 2025's word, and that then will kind of lead into my next one. So 2024's word was clarity. And so my word was like, I need to get clear on what's important. And then 2025 was quality. So I focused on getting clear. Then I focused on how do I make those things really good, which means I had to slow down a little bit, which means I couldn't go in all the directions and start a lot of new things. And I think this is the scariest part. So Jesse and I have had multiple conversations about this topic because we knew we were going to talk about it on the live stream. And I've been thinking, like, what is it that I can go into next year with? Because I already know the things I want to let go of, the things I want to focus on, things like that. And so I've been really spending some time reflecting on this, and a word kept popping in, and I'm just like, well, that's not right. And then I'd think about it again, talk about it, and the same word kept popping up. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And so I called Jesse and I'm like, Jesse, I'm struggling right now because I'm trying to figure out my word for 2026. And this keeps popping up. And you're like, it's perfect. So I'm going to say the word, but then I want you to be able to like talk through, because most people that on here know me, as to like how you kind of helped walk me off a ledge of like, yes, that makes sense. And sometimes words scare us as to no, that doesn't fit my plan. And so the word is quiet. And I'm like, well, no part of that makes sense to anything that I want to do. And so you helped me kind of navigate through that. So can you talk through that a little bit?
Yeah. When you told me that was your word, I'm like, oh my God, yes, 100%. Not because I wish she would just let me talk on the live streams. I know what y'all are thinking. That's not why. For me, it was super awesome because, Jen and I have been working together, like brainstorming, I'll say it this way. We've been growing together for 4 years now. And I know how many miles she runs in her head per second with questions, with thoughts, ideas, wondering, because she wants to serve. She doesn't want to disappoint anybody. She wants to make sure she serves to the greatest degree all the time. And, she's got the girl, you got a lot going on. And so when you said quiet, I instantly knew, like, yes, it's quiet, the questions in your head, period. Right? Like so when you said quiet, I'm like, oh yeah, like, and now what does that mean? Right? Picking a direction, being confident in what you've decided to do. And more importantly, like, and this is, I think, applicable to everybody and anybody, because the majority of the time that we're running the bazillion scenarios in our head, what if it doesn't, what if they don't like, is this what they meant? Is this what they wanted? Step number 1, ask. Ask them, right? Like if you're wondering what they want, what it could be, what it should be, what did they mean, all of that, freaking ask them. That's how you're going to find out. You'll never find out by running those miles in your head. And I know, Jen, like that's where you come from, because you care. And I also, just personally, because I care about you, I know the enormous amount of energy that takes. And sure, you're a go-getter. I mean, and now back to kind of my thing, what am I going to have to let go of? I'm going to have to let go of some of my identity. That when you start getting quiet, you're going to feel like, what the hell's going on? There's impending doom. Something's going to happen because it's a new thing. So you're going to have to grow into that. But for me, it was that. It was like, okay, you're in a space, you built a habit of reflection, of really thinking through things and looking from a broader perspective on how to have deeper impact and all the things. But now you need to get quiet in your mind. And so for me, it was like, yeah, hell yeah, this is perfect. And more importantly, I think it's the one thing that's going to challenge you the most.
Absolutely.
Like, because that's not your norm, and it's a new skill. You're going to discover things about yourself. You're going to scare the hell out of yourself. Like, it's going to be uncomfortable, and that's okay.
But I socialized it, number one, because when I was like, that's not it. Like I was literally convincing myself that something's wrong. That's not right. And I socialized it, and Jesse was like, yes. And so again, we don't always have the answers, but sometimes because of other people's perspective, they can say, if something's, you call them whispers, if something just keeps screaming at you and you're like, what is happening here? Like, listen to it and then socialize it just to see, like, hey, am I a little jaded? Because like, I know my identity, I know the things that are important, and I know what people value. Like, how could that be what I need to focus on? And you very much helped me look at it from a different perspective.
I love it. Well, and it kind of ties to what our brother Jim just said. His word for 24 was growth. The word for this year, 25, was gratitude. And the word for 26 has not found me yet. I think that's ultra important, because you just talked about it, right? This idea of quiet kept popping up, right? And you had to like pay attention to the whispers, like, what the hell is this? The idea for reflection, like my typical process, filtering That's my word for 26. My typical process is the week of my birthday is when I go through my journal, and I skim through every single entry that I made to look for, redundancies or patterns and da 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 da. And I spend a lot of time thinking and walking and, just really heavy thinking. And the word will kind of start rising out, right? So it kind of finds me. This year, that word hit me in like late October, early November. It was just like, you got to filter. And it kept popping up and it kept popping up and it kept popping up. Like, okay, that's what next year is filtering. So to reinforce James' point, right? Can you pick your word? Pick a freaking word. And guess what? If you change it, I ain't going to tell on you. But for some of us, it's banging around in our head. And maybe we just need to pull it and have a conversation with somebody. Some of us, we just need to pick one and freaking go with the damn thing, yes. Right? Just do the damn thing. It happens differently. So I just want to make sure you guys understand that so that you're not like hard on don't make it hard. Don't make it heavy. If a word for the year is like, what the hell are you talking about? Do a resolution, do whatever works for you, but don't wait until New Year's Eve, man. Like you got we're days away. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Come on. Mr. Milo, what's up, Milo? How you been, brother? His word is connection. I love that because there's a lot of depth there. And then Mr. Chili Chow, man, he's been contributing a bunch today. Mike says, yes, you just did an SQI on Jen. Remove the painful work between the ears. Yes, sir. Use your pack and enjoy peace and clarity. Yep. Amen. So I dropped the link to the after party in all the chats. It's in the chats, folks. If not, find it, right? It's
it's on the No BS page. I think it's even on my page. So yeah.
Yep. The whole point of the after party is so that one, we can like go deeper into some of the things that we've just touched on during the live stream. And also so that we can learn from you guys, right? Is this worth the damn? What do we want to talk about next year, right? We don't know what we're going to talk about in January 2026. Usually that information or that decision is informed by the heart of the conversation from the after party. And it gives us an opportunity to hear you guys because me and Jen talk all the freaking time. Like I'm kind of bored of talking to Jen, y'all. I need some of y'all on the call too. All right, closing thought, Jen.
Yeah, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. I know sometimes this is an amazing time for people. Sometimes it's a scary time. Sometimes there's some sad time. Like there's a lot of feelings going on when it comes to the holidays. And so I just want you to know that you are seen and you are valued and that we are so happy that you're a part of our community.
Yeah. Same. Merry Christmas. And Jen asked me to do this because this was one of the things she was afraid to say that she wants for 2026. If you get a chance, some kind of Valentine gift of cards, flowers, or something, and send them to Jen. Post on her timeline, Happy Valentine's. She wants that more than anything. And so now you got plenty of time to make that happen. All right. Time for the dance, Jen. You got the music?
Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.